Following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Now, let's move on. We're going to get this Terrell Owens situation with white women. All right, so we got Terrell Owens and Ocho Cinco on IG Live where T.O. stated that he had a preference for white women. And of course, instead of hearing the man out to see exactly where he was coming from, black women, some, not all, but black women decided to tear this man down. Now, before I get into my thoughts about this, let's see the video so we can get a good idea of exactly where T.O. was going with this conversation with Chad Ocho Cinco. Let's go. All right, hold on. Let's get this up off of here and get to that conversation. Here we go. Here's T.O. and Chad Ocho Cinco.
First experience with white girls.
All right, hold on.
So when I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. Some nuggets about, because a lot of people like.
Check it out.
Things in here.
And real quick, shout out to They Live Again. They Live Again. It's a YouTube channel we got this clip from. Shout out to them.
About, because a lot of people are like, well, what is he like? I've heard rumors, all he likes is white girls, this and that. Let me set the record straight.
Tell him. Get him together.
In a short version, I like what likes me. You know what I mean? But everything that likes me is not for me.
Ooh.
So I know a lot of black women have like, oh, well, that's all he likes, this, that, and the other. Well, if you do a little research, I have kids.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
By black women. So clearly, I have to have some type of like for black women.
Yes, sir.
Today, like I said, I grew up in a black household.
Yes, sir.
So this notion, I get it because athletes, they get money, they go to pro, and then they want to date white girls, this and that and the other. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50. I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I have now.
Hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And when I bloom, boy, did I bloom.
Yes, sir.
So let me finish my story. So when I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
so
they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No,
Now look how he's transparent he's being with the situation, right? And you still had women who came out and just dogged him. You know what I mean? But they didn't take the time to actually listen to what he had to say. I'm gonna let it continue though.
Being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I was like, okay, it wasn't bad.
Grant, did you hear that? That nigga said opportunity. He said opportunity, then he switched it to experience.
Blood clot.
But that wasn't, I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is, because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy.
All right, let me pause it right there. Because I want to make a point here. And fellas, let me point this out to you. T.O. is being extremely nice with his explanation. See, the reason a lot of these prominent brothers are choosing women from other ethnicities is because it boils down to mentality. 70% of our women are raised by single mothers, single grandmothers. So that's single mothers and single grandmothers, and they're also heavily influenced by their single aunties. They have absolutely no clue on how to deal with and keep a man. They weren't raised to know any better. So why would a nigga who worked as hard as T.O. to get where he is today risk, and let's be clear, all marriage is a risk regardless of race. But it's an even greater risk when you are dealing with women who only know how to be a specific type of way. And that's real. It's no disrespect. Because to be honest, there's a lot of black men raised in the same households, but usually it's a different effect on them. See, a lot of men, not all, but a lot of men raised in single mother homes end up being one of four things. Number one, a criminal, because he has no concept of authority, because there's no man in the house. Number two, he ends up being a member of the LGBT community. Why? Because of lack of male energy in the household. Number three, he ends up being a super simp, because at the end of the day, he's learning lessons about how to deal with women through his mama and his auntie's perspective. And number four, he ends up being a serial baby daddy. Yes, he ends up being a serial baby daddy, just like this nigga.
How many children do you have?
23, 22 baby mother. Real bad man.
That's right. So he ends up being a serial baby daddy, and by the time he's 30, he's already severely jeopardized his capability for the future, because he's either getting crushed in child support, working multiple dead-end jobs to stay afloat, or a combination of the two. But that's a whole nother show that we can get into another time. Let's continue this video.
And I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, "Oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like," that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to. That, you know what I mean? That looks pleasing to the eye.
And shout out to Big Caesar 21. He says, black women aren't taught to be wives. Most of them don't offer peace of mind, just headaches. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll keep it a buck. I'm married to a black woman who doesn't give me any headaches. She was raised by both her parents. She was raised to be a wife. She understands the family value system. So, I mean, at this point in our situation, I don't really have any issues in that regard. But I'm not blind to the fact that most of our women, like you say, are not brought up to give men a peace of mind. They're brought out to look out for themselves, and they're brought up to look to men for pleasure, gifts, and things of that nature. They're taught to see what they can get from a man, but they're not taught to show what they can give back or to actually give back. They're only taught to take, essentially, because as hard as they work, as much as a boss baddie bitch that they are, and as hard as they work to go up the corporate ladder, that money's for them. You marry one of them, that money's for them. It ain't for you, unless you marry J. Blige. But I digress. Let's go.
So at the end of the day, I want somebody that's attractive, but it's more so now I want somebody that has good, I can have good chemistry with, they have good energy, and we can vibe, and we're on the same level. Right. You know what I mean? And we can talk about things like, within the last probably 3 to 5 years, I've been more communicative. And as you said earlier, Chad, I've lowered my wall a bit. Mm-hmm. I ain't let the motherfucker all the way down. But I let it down just a little bit so I can, somebody can peek over and I can peek over too, to where I've allowed myself to be somewhat vulnerable. But understanding communication is key in anything, business and personal, no matter what. If you have a good communication relationship, man, y'all can rule the world. You can.
All right, so we'll stop it right there. Yes, sir. So really, the thing that stands out to me most about this topic was the response from black women. This man got tore up in the comment sections on every blog and publication that reposted this live. Now see, for some strange reason, black women think that black men aren't allowed to date outside their race. And once they do, they're called everything in the book, from a coon to a sellout, you name it. I mean, they get all type of racially insensitive jokes and comments hurled at them and whoever they're dating. But see, when black women do it, it's a whole different conversation. See, when black women date white men, for the most part, black men could care less. And a lot of that probably stems from the fact that we don't really have any issues landing women outside of our race or ethnic group, as long as we got ourselves in a decent position. Let's face it, a black man with his shit together can do exceptionally well in the dating marketplace. So I get it. They could be a little jealous, a little jealousy from the women, but nonetheless, black women praise interracial relationships when it's the other way around. See, when Meghan Markle married Prince Harry, black women were celebrating in the streets. It's like they were all living vicariously through her. And it's like they all were on this thing. They all felt like they were Disney princesses for once. Even though 9 times out of 10, when a black woman, even a successful black woman, dates a white man, this is the type of white man she gets.
Shiggity wicked Islam, lick up me talawa, dan pan it long. If you're looking for your 1 minute man, goddamn, she get it wrong. Big bomber class, spliff a bus in me head. A sexy gal say she want to give me head. When me fuck pussy turn red. Gymnastic, now the pussy dead.
That's normally what they end up with. That is normally what they end up with. But yeah, they were living vicariously through her, man. And there are several other examples of prominent black women who have white husbands, and you don't hear a peep of negativity about it from any of them. You got Kamala Harris, if you want to consider her black. You got Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. You got Serena Williams. You got Maya Angelou. The list goes on and on. But the point still remains that it's not the same energy. So fellas, I take their opinion on who you date with a grain of salt. Date and marry whoever the hell you want, as long as they fit the mold of the type of female that you are willing to risk it all for and start a family with. And don't let Negroes like Dr. Umar Johnson guilt you out of dating who you want to date. At this point, who you choose to date is not going to fix any of the black community's problems. So do what you got to do. See what we got in the comment section. Shout out to Sam Johnson. What's up, bro? How you living? All right, but yeah.
That you probably...
Speaking of double standards in women, let's talk about this Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift issue. Now, it seems as if the same black women who were mad at Terrell Owens for dating white women or preferring to date white women are now mad at Travis Kelce, a white man, for dating Taylor Swift, who is a white woman. Honestly, it doesn't get any dumber than this. Real quick, let's play this clip I got off the Breakfast Club where a young lady who they had on the show, I can't remember her name, was trying to give some rationale as to why certain black women were going crazy on the internet over the Travis Kelce situation. Let's go. Bear with me, good people. Bear with me. All right, here we go. All right.
So Taylor Swift She was at the Arrowhead Stadium. She was there to see the Chiefs play on Sunday.
King. Don't act like you don't love your Snow King.
Just him. Honestly, just
real quick. DJ from DC says black men are black women's bargaining chip to the multinational dating market. When we don't hold up our side of the social contract, it fucks up their dating strategy. Facts. But honestly, man, like I said, I'm married to a black woman, but I'm not one of those people that tell everybody to do what I do. So I get it. Like, why should black men hold up their part of the social contract in the first place? It ain't even fair. For the shit they get from you and the shit you get from them, it's not fair. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. So you might have to be a free agent. You might just have to be a free agent. All right, let's go.
Him. Like, it was only him for, that's what I'm saying. I feel like black women have like set white men that we would like kind of try it a little bit with.
Oh, Travis Kelce's one of them?
Travis Kelce was one of them, and Justin Timberlake was one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think we let Justin go after the Janet stuff, though.
Are you supposed to be telling these black women secrets? I didn't know that.
We talk about this all the time on Twitter. You just are not there.
Yeah, I don't do Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also don't. Do you not hear black women either?
What?
Oh, okay.
I've never heard them talk about their lustful white men.
It's not a lust. It's just like if we had to go there, and not everybody wants to. These are people that we think are lonely.
I hear a bunch of black women say, "Lauren, speak for yourself."
Hold on.
I am so lonely.
No, there are a lot of black women that thought that Travis Kelce was very attractive.
Okay.
But this whole Taylor Swift thing, can we turn it?
I'm trying to figure out why. How do black women figure they own black men and also own white men? That's the craziest part to me. And just because you find this man attractive, why is it a thing that he's dating someone within his own race? Like, that's inherently and ridiculously racist. But nobody says anything because it's them.
Stop or you make her cry. Won't y'all stop?
What? No,
she lost her white king. Come on, I'm sorry. I'm with you.
Whoa.
I'm here for support.
No,
was
we're
that
not
your
gonna
white
do
king,
that.
Lauren?
No, it was not.
Wow.
It was like a crush. We are y'all are not bringing this song back.
Go ahead, tell us about your Snow King. What happened?
My God.
Your Snow King.
I feel like I gotta talk in a low voice for this. So, the 12-time Grammy-winning singer Taylor Swift showed up at this game, and when she showed up at the game, y'all, it went from an NFL football game to a Swifties concert.
When it's cold outside.
To who?
Everybody in
Not
the
to
world.
us. We were watching the game for the game.
Yes.
I didn't give a damn about no Taylor Swift being there.
Do we have the audio of Patrick Mahomes? No, we don't. Okay, well, I can describe it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I don't even watch the reporters at the football games because there's nothing for me to. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Oh my God, Lauren.
So Patrick Mahomes they're talking about the game, and he's asked if he felt under pressure because Taylor Swift was there and the Swifties were watching. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
That's because America is obsessed with celebrity. We have a...
All right, so I find it interesting. He's talking about America's obsessed with celebrities, and that's pretty much what he talks about on the show all day. But nonetheless, that's all we really needed to see of that. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So there we have it, man. There we have it. Now, ladies, I'm going to attempt to show you why Travis Kelce most likely decided to dip back into mayonnaise. Y'all remember his ex, Kayla Nicole. Well, about a year ago, Miss Kayla Nicole was in the headlines for having a whole bunch of smoke for Cam Newton when Cam Newton came out with his comments on the type of woman that he wants. Now, a very short time after that, her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, at the time, coincidentally dumped her and moved on. So I'm gonna play the Cam Newton comments first, then we'll get to hers. This is strictly to show you why Travis Kelce has moved back to the mayonnaise. So hopefully this will give you some context as to why your Snow King has returned back to the North. Give me a second. All right, let's get it. All right, so we'll get to Cam Newton's shit first, and then we'll get to hers. So this is what Cam Newton said.
You know, a lot of people, they know one Cam. They don't know Cam. The upbringing, you growing up, what was that like? How was that?
So I'm not one of these dudes to be like, bro, I'm gutter, I'm this, I'm that. Man, I had a perfect example of what a man was in my.
All right, shout out to Big Caesar 21 again. He says black women don't do well in the dating market. So when the brothers date outside the race, it limits their options even more. They have a terrible favorability rating on dating apps. They are the least picked. Yes, Big Caesar 21. On multiple shows, I pulled up the Hello Cupid article that basically gives all the data, and it shows that black women and unfortunately Asian men are the least desirable in the dating market. And I think black women were on the bottom. So yeah, your analysis on this is correct. That's what the studies show. And the reason why they said that is because of three things that we can all say are true. Not for all black women, but for some, and for the most part, all the ones that they put on TV. I will give black women credit. They are victims of stereotype suicide, for lack of better terms. The people that they put on TV to represent black women are absolutely ridiculous. But the problem that I have with black women in general in that regard is not enough of them stand up to the stereotype and try to dispel it. It's like they just stay quiet and let the shit rock for fear of being ostracized from the group. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Big Caesar. You're absolutely right.
My life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
Fellas, he is exactly right. The reason why most of these niggas trip up out here because they looking for bad bitches. But you know where bad bitches leave you in? They leave you ended up. Bad bitches leave you in a bad situation. Remember that.
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow.
The first of his name, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm.
Cam Newton is exactly right there. He is exactly right. You all this, you all that, but you can't cook. You can't even do the essence of what women do. And I know some people say, well, you sound sexist. That's not sexist. Hell, a woman expects me to at least know how to change a tire. So if I know how to at least change a tire, you should be able to at least know how to make a goddamn sandwich. At the bare minimum. And actually, that's not even a goddamn fair exchange. Changing the tire takes some goddamn work. You're gonna have to know how to You gonna have to know how to make some pancakes, something. Fuck a sandwich.
Allow a man to lead.
Now, a lot of women, now the kickback of that is be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for the man and handle his business. You know, that's what they say. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be submissive to a man and handle his business. That's what they're gonna say. So what is your?
But it's ways to do it, and I'm not just about to sit up here and beat up my queen.
No, I ain't saying like that.
But
I mean, I'll put it to you like this. I don't think that's fair for women to say. I don't think that's fair at all. How can you say, okay, let's go back, because I want to make sure I don't misquote him. I want to make sure I don't misquote him.
About to sit up here and beat up my queen.
No, and to handle his business. They say. Now, a lot of women, now the kickback of that is be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for the man and handle his business. You know, that's what they say. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be submissive to a man and handle his business. That's what they're gonna say. So what is your?
So right there, okay. So he's saying that they gonna say they'll only be vulnerable or be submissive or whatever to a man that handles his business, or to a man that is masculine or plays the role, right? But how ridiculous does that sound? So you're only gonna be a feminine woman for a man who you pick and choose, who you fit to see feminine for, but on the flip side, these are the same people who demand ultimate masculinity from us at all times. I can't just turn off my masculinity just because I don't know you or just because you haven't proved that you're feminine to me. I'm going to be masculine at all times because I'm not going to be feminine. See, it doesn't make any sense. And the craziest part to me is these are the same women that swear that they're not protected. They swear that they're not protected. Well, maybe that might have something to do with your femininity. Maybe if you walk in your feminine all the time in all things that you do, maybe more men would treat you accordingly. Maybe men would hold the door before you when you coming through. You know, maybe a guy, you know, maybe niggas, oh, you know, little shit like that. But if you outside yelling, cursing, screaming and carrying on, arguing with niggas, why would somebody come and help you? You're masculine enough to handle your own business. But anyway, let's get back to the conversation.
But it's ways to do it. And I'm not just about to sit up here and beat up my queen.
No, I ain't saying like that.
But I'm also gonna also tell the men to start being men, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, that sucker shit should not be rewarded.
All right, so that's what Cam had to say, and really wasn't that bad. I don't see why women would have a problem with that. But here's what Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, the girl that he left and then got with Taylor Swift, this is what she had to say about what Cam had to say. Here we go.
Amount of DMs from y'all sending me this Cam Newton interview. I saw the interview. I haven't said nothing about it because I think it's foolish that we have to keep having this same tired conversation about the qualities that make a woman of substance. This man said that you need to be able to cook and know when to be quiet. Because that's what his mama did. Like, boy, go teach your mama then. Talked about it on Twitter. If y'all want to go check out Twitter, you can stop sending me the article. I saw it. I saw the interview. I saw what I had to say on Twitter. Okay, bye.
So we're not going to go to Twitter. We're not going to read any of that shit because we don't have time for that shit tonight. But the bottom line is, a few weeks after she made this post, Travis Kelce dumped her. So, ladies, it ain't just successful black men that can't put up with the boss chick bullshit. It's also successful white men and all other ethnicities of successful men, to be fair. It's just that black men have been putting up with the bullshit for so long that y'all think this shit is normal. Then, when one of y'all goes and gets a decent dude from another race, it never lasts long because they definitely ain't putting up with that shit. And another thing about this situation, There was a lot of posts on Twitter and IG comparing Taylor Swift's looks to Kayla Nicole. Now, granted, I do believe that Kayla is more attractive than Swift, looks-wise. But choosing a potential spouse has a lot more to do with the person than their actual level of attractiveness, in my opinion. See, smart men don't pick Instagram models. Smart men choose regular chicks who aren't all on social media every 5 seconds wearing sexy clothes with their booking information posted. And by booking, I mean basically a high level of prostitution. So, why you think all these athletes and rappers are always in some drama with the women they choose? Why do you think that? See, they never make it past baby mama and end up extorting these dudes for 18 to 21 years every time. But on the flip side, look at Ice Cube's wife. She's a regular, modest chick who was with him from the jump. Or even Snoop Dogg's wife, regular, modest woman. Those were great choices in women. But see, these dudes these days are all chasing the same bad bitches, and they are all ending up with the same bad circumstances. But back to the topic though. Travis Kelce ain't fitting to put up with that sassy ass boss chick nonsense. And to top it off, he made her go half on everything when they were dating. That's something else she complained about after the fact with their situation. But see, our women sit up and take advice from chicks like this. And that type of shit be the main problem. That type of shit be the main disconnect. And shout out to DJ from DC once again. He says, if a woman shows or tells you she's a bad bitch, believe her. Facts. Facts. Treat her for what she is. Use her for entertainment purposes only. And then keep it moving.